Hey, Twinsies album drop on November 29. Have you ever seen this Notebook LM thing that Google has done? So to give you a little bit of a sneak peek, I went ahead and uploaded all the lyrics for all of the songs in the upcoming album, dropped them in here, and the results are pretty cool. So go grab some headphones or put your phone down, do something else and listen. It's a pretty engaging little story that they put together here.
All right, let's dive into something pretty cool. We're getting a sneak peek at Factory Reset, the upcoming album from Zatt and Zeev.
The Twinsies.
Yep, the Twinsies. They're real-life twins, both engineers. And get this, they've been making music since they were kids.
That's awesome.
It's fascinating how they mix their technical backgrounds with their artistic passion.
I know.
Zatt's a software engineer who loves those electronic synths. But Zeev, the electrical engineer, he's drawn to software instruments.
Yeah. Kind of a fun twist, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
And the album art gives us this amazing visual clue.
Oh, yeah.
It's an eye peering through a hole in wood. And above it, Factory Reset etched right there, surrounded by like all these technical markings.
Oh.
Zatt actually created it himself, used a CNC router in his woodshop.
No way. That's impressive.
What do you think about that imagery?
Well, the title Factory Reset itself is intriguing, you know?
Yeah.
We usually think of it in terms of technology.
Like wiping a device clean?
Exactly. Going back to the original settings.
So are they hinting at a fresh start? Maybe a return to their roots?
Possibly. It definitely sets the stage for some kind of journey.
Yeah, for sure.
And that eye peering through, it's like they're inviting us to look deeper, see things with a fresh perspective.
I love that. It aligns with that whole feeling I get from the album description, a sense of change, you know, both personal and professional.
Now sees that.
And then there are the song titles. Iterate, for example. It immediately made me think of, well, you know, the iterative process in software development.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
It's that constant cycle, right, of trying, failing, and improving.
Right.
In tech, you're always trying to make things better, more efficient.
Exactly.
But the song seems to explore that concept beyond just the technical side of things.
Totally. The lyrics touch on that childhood curiosity, that pure joy of discovery.
Yeah.
And then they contrast it with, well, the disillusionment that can come with, you know, experiencing the realities of any industry.
Right.
Even tech. Like you start to see the sausage making, so to speak.
The behind the scenes.
Right. And some of that magic fades.
It's true.
And that's where the message of iteration gets even more powerful.
Oh, how so?
It's about finding ways to keep that spark alive, to keep learning and growing even when things get tough.
I like that.
And then they hit us with binary classifiers. Now, this one might sound a little complex at first.
Okay.
Imagine trying to categorize something as complex as, like, human experience into just two categories, like success or failure.
I see.
That's the essence of binary classifiers.
Yeah.
These mathematical tools that simplify data down to just two options.
Yeah.
But the song seems to be questioning that kind of oversimplification.
Oh, interesting.
It's pushing back against those rigid categories, you know, the ones that society often imposes on us.
Right.
Like they're saying, hey, life isn't black and white. There's a whole spectrum of gray in between.
And trying to force everything into those neat little boxes, it just doesn't capture the full picture.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes this album so exciting. They're tackling these really big ideas.
Yeah.
About, you know, personal growth, societal expectations, the search for meaning.
Yeah.
But they do it through this lens of technology and music.
A unique blend of intellect and emotion, for sure.
And the fact that they're both engineers gives them this different perspective on these themes, don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because they're using their technical backgrounds to, you know, dissect these complex ideas and then translate them into something that's both thought-provoking and musically engaging.
I agree.
And what's interesting is they don't shy away from the darker emotions either.
Oh.
You see it in songs like Defeated and Psychosis. Defeated feels like that moment, you know, when you're just completely overwhelmed. You're questioning everything.
Yeah, like, am I even on the right path?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Is this all worth it?
Right.
And Psychosis dives into this feeling of distorted reality. Which could be a metaphor for information overload.
Possibly, yeah.
We were constantly bombarded with news, opinions, expectations.
It can feel overwhelming, that's for sure.
It's almost like they're saying, hey, it's okay to feel a little crazy sometimes. We're all trying to navigate this chaotic world.
Yeah.
And then there's hurry up and wait and a week away.
Okay.
It's like they're capturing those moments of transition, that in-between space where you're not quite sure what's next.
Yeah, I see that.
Hurry up and wait speaks to that frustration we all feel,
When things are out of our control.
Exactly. When things are outside of our control, that sense of being stuck in limbo.
Just waiting.
Waiting for something to happen.
Yeah.
Like the universe is saying, hold on, I'm working on something bigger for you.
It's a nice way to think about it.
And a week away, there's a certain melancholy to it, but also a sense of hope.
Oh.
It's like stepping away from everything you know to gain some clarity.
Yeah.
But there's that bittersweet feeling of, well, missing the people you love.
Right, missing those connections.
It speaks to the sacrifices we often make when we pursue our dreams, and the importance of finding that balance between our personal and professional lives.
It's not always easy.
Right. And maybe even the realization that sometimes the greatest adventures are those we share with the people who matter most.
That's lovely.
And then we come to what seems like the culmination of the album, Rebooted Dreams.
Oh, cool.
This one feels like a powerful statement of transformation.
Okay.
The lyrics talk about, leaving behind the tech world,
Really?
smashing the screen, and embracing a new path.
Wow.
It's like they've gone through this process of factory reset themselves.
Interesting.
They're shedding those old layers and emerging with this renewed sense of purpose.
I like that.
And those lines, gears turn, thoughts converge. From a trance we emerge, the inner voice awakens, it awakens screams. So begins our rebooted dreams.
Wow.
Chills.
Yeah.
It's like they're declaring, we're awake now, and we're ready to chase what truly matters.
Powerful.
And it ties back to the album art so beautifully.
How so?
That eye peering through. It's like they're seeing the world anew with clarity and purpose.
Yeah, I can definitely see that connection.
It's giving me goosebumps just thinking about it. I am so ready to hear how they translate all of this into music.
Me too. I mean, it's one thing to read the lyrics and analyze the themes, but to actually experience it through sound, it's going to be incredible.
November 29th can't come soon enough.
I agree. It seems like Factory Reset is going to be more than just an album. It's going to be an experience.
Absolutely.
It feels like Zatt and Zeev are tapping into something universal,
Like what?
That yearning for a fresh start.
Yeah.
A chance to kind of reevaluate, maybe even reinvent ourselves.
Like they're giving us permission to hit that, reset button in our own lives. Step back and say, okay, what's working, what's not, and what do we really want?
Exactly. And they do it with such honesty.
Yeah.
Vulnerability. The way they weave their personal experiences into these songs. It's really relatable.
Totally. Like an iterate. When they talk about that disillusionment, that can come with seeing the sausage making behind the scenes in tech. It's something a lot of people can relate to, regardless of their profession.
Oh, absolutely.
That feeling of, it's not all it's cracked up to be.
It's that clash between expectation and reality, right?
Right.
And I think it speaks to a broader theme of, questioning those narratives, the ones we're often fed about success and happiness.
Right. Like maybe those traditional markers of success, like the fancy job title, the big paycheck, aren't actually fulfilling.
Right. And maybe true fulfillment comes from something deeper,
Like what?
Pursuing your passions, connecting with others, making a difference in the world.
Which brings us back to that whole idea of rebooting dreams, right?
Yeah.
What are they suggesting we do with those dreams we've maybe pushed aside or forgotten about?
I think they're challenging us to dust them off.
Yeah.
Re-examine them, see if they still resonate with who we are now.
And maybe even take a leap of faith, start pursuing them.
Exactly. Even if it means stepping outside our comfort zones, even if it means, smashing the screen, leaving behind what's familiar.
And I think binary classifiers plays into this beautifully,
How so?
It's like they're saying, don't let society define your success. Don't let yourself be boxed into those narrow categories.
It's a reminder to embrace our individuality, celebrate our unique strengths and passions, and define success on our own terms.
And to recognize that the journey itself, the ups and downs, the twists and turns, it's all part of the process.
Exactly. It's about embracing the messiness, the uncertainty, and finding beauty in the imperfections.
It's like they're saying life isn't a straight line. It's a winding path. And that's okay.
Yeah. And sometimes, those unexpected detours, they lead us to the most amazing destinations.
I love that. Speaking of detours, let's talk about those songs that capture those moments of transition.
Yeah.
Hurry Up and Wait and A Week Away. They feel so emotionally resonant.
They do. Hurry Up and Wait perfectly captures that frustration of feeling stuck. Knowing you want something, but not being able to force it to happen.
Yeah, it's like that feeling of anticipation mixed with impatience.
Right.
Like you're on the edge of something big,
Yeah.
but you just have to wait for the right moment.
It's a reminder that sometimes the best things in life take time,
Yeah.
and that the waiting period can be an opportunity for growth and reflection.
And then a week away.
Yeah.
There's a certain melancholy to it, but also a sense of hope.
Oh, yeah.
It's like you're stepping away from everything you know to gain some clarity,
Yeah. Yeah.
But there's that bittersweet feeling of, well, missing the people you love.
Right. Missing those connections.
It speaks to the sacrifices we often make in pursuit of our dreams
Uh-huh.
and the importance of finding balance,
Between our personal and professional lives.
Yeah. And maybe even the realization that sometimes the greatest adventures are those we share with the people who matter most.
It's a beautiful sentiment, and it all ties back to that central theme of, transformation, the idea that change can be challenging, but it's ultimately what allows us to grow and evolve.
And to find that deeper sense of meaning and purpose
Yeah,
that we're all searching for.
exactly. And I think that's what makes Factory Reset so powerful. It's not just an album, it's a reflection of the human experience, our struggles, our triumphs, our constant evolution.
And it's all set against this backdrop of technology, which adds this fascinating layer of complexity. It's like they're saying we're living in this increasingly digital world, but at our core, we're still human beings with hopes and dreams and the capacity for incredible growth.
It's a beautiful juxtaposition, and I think it's going to resonate with a lot of people, especially those who are grappling with, the challenges and opportunities of the modern world.
Totally.
Yeah.
And let's not forget that stunning album art, that eye peering through the wood. It's like a symbol of awakening,
Seeing things with fresh eyes.
It's like they're inviting us to look inward, to examine our own beliefs and motivations, and to consider what we might want to factory reset in our own lives. I love that. It's like a visual representation of the entire album's message, a call to introspection, transformation, and the pursuit of our truest selves.
Yeah, it's like they created this sonic map, right, for navigating this whole complex modern life.
And it comes back to that question,
What we keep coming back to.
Yeah. What would your factory reset look like? What parts of your life just feel out of sync? Maybe even a little, glitchy.
And what dreams have you kind of put on the back burner, waiting for the right moment to reboot?
Maybe this album will be the thing,
The catalyst.
Yeah, the catalyst.
Yeah.
The spark that ignites those changes.
Yeah.
I'm so curious to hear how they translate these complex themes into music.
Me too. They've got this unique blend, right? Technical prowess and artistic sensibility. I'm picturing these intricate electronic soundscapes.
Yeah.
Layered with, thought-provoking lyrics.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I bet they use those technical skills to create textures and rhythms, really drive that emotional impact home.
For sure.
Maybe even some experimental sounds to represent that feeling of breaking free from expectations.
Totally.
How do you translate binary classifiers
Yeah.
into a musical experience? I bet they found some really creative ways to do it.
It's going to be interesting to see how they balance the intellectual and emotional aspects of their music. They're dealing with some pretty heady concepts, but they also seem to get the human experience,
It's not just about the tech, it's about how tech impacts us,
Yeah.
right? How it shapes our perceptions, our relationships, our sense of self.
And how we can use technology as a tool for positive change, individually and, collectively.
Well said. I'm getting chills just thinking about the possibilities. November 29th can't get here soon enough. I have a feeling this is going to be one we keep coming back to,
Oh, yeah.
unpacking those layers with each listen.
I agree. It seems like the kind of music that, sparks conversations, challenges those assumptions, stays with you long after the last note fades.
That's what a great album does, right? Makes you think, makes you feel, maybe even inspires you to make some changes.
Absolutely. So as you go about your day, dear listener, keep those big questions in mind. What would your factory reset look like? What dreams are just waiting to be, rebooted? Maybe Zatt and Zeev's music will provide the soundtrack for your own journey of transformation.
Thanks for listening. It is a really personal album. I hope you enjoy it. I had a great time making it. I really hope you listen to it. And until next time, go make some music.